I feel like I mention this every couple of months, but I also don't think I've actually done a full video kind of talking about it. But I want to talk about how, as a collector, physical media collector, films are getting exceedingly overpriced right now, which is getting annoying. Uh, as an Australian collector as it is, things have always been difficult price-wise because we have to do a lot of importing, especially from the US and the UK, because they have such amazing labels and brands that release films exclusively, usually, in those countries, or at least, say you might get a Criterion or an Arrow Video release of the same film, but either way, for us in Australia, sorry, I'm just adjusting my camera here, we still have to import, and it's annoying. It's tiresome, it's expensive, and we either have to rely on stores like, Dead and DVD, or Outrun, or whatever, or even Amazon, or we just are able to find it ourselves and maybe, hopefully, get a good price. It's a toss and turn kind of deal, but then at least there are the occasions when we do get, local boutique releases, getting a brand new restoration of a film, a whole exclusive release. Isn't this amazing? Why does it cost so much goddamn money? Now, this isn't obviously unique to Australia. It's in many, many countries. I know people were critical of Severin's release of Opera for it being so pricey for one film, and I was kind of okay with that. I don't know, I really liked the film, but I also bought it with other films, so the shipping kind of justified how many films I was buying in the end, and all those other films were on sale. But Umbrella and Imprint, two local boutique Australian brands, have done some amazing releases of recent, and some of them that they've still only have announced but haven't released yet are very, very pricey, and I don't know, we've got this thing in Australia right now, economically, called the cost of living crisis. I don't actually get affected by it personally, luckily, because I live with my parents. I don't have to stress about, how shitty the economy is right now, but boy, I know my future is rough. I probably should stop spending so much money on movies. But Umbrella have this boutique release for Caligula, this gorgeous looking set. It's 150 Australian dollars. All these prices I'm going to say are in Australian dollars because I don't know what the conversion rate is like. So sorry to my American and British viewers, but if you know it's 150 Australian dollars, it's probably maybe 110 to 130 USD, which is probably a lot in your books, which is perfectly fine. And of course, you guys have exporting costs as well, unless it's a certain price on the website. Sometimes you can get it for free shipping. Luckily in Australia, we get it free shipping over $100, and Caligula being 150 is an automatic, you get the free shipping. And I've been up and down wanting to buy it, and I was like, oh, I really want to buy this release. It looks exceptional, because earlier this year they had late last year, but early this year I got the Super Mario release. Not their re-release, but the actual original one. I was going to get the re-release, but I actually happen to have found the original one for $150 at Supernova, and I was like, I'll just buy that, cancel my order for the other one, and reorder all the stuff I had bought, which became a domino thing, because that became a whole, because I cancelled that order, I had to reorder everything I'd ordered, and because I reordered them, they were like, hey, because you like buying for our website so much, here's a discount. So I used that discount to get other editions of films for even cheaper prices, which is great, because I ended up getting The Raid and the Lizard and Woman's Skin for a lot cheaper, which I was very happy by. But still, it's 15% off, whatever. And that's worth noting, because currently Umbrella, which probably not by the time this video has come out, but they recently had a 15% off store-wide sale. And I was like, that's wonderful, because I was able to get Caligula for 127-ish, 123 maybe, down from 150. So I got it for about $25 off. Still a lot, because it's one movie. But because of the, precedence of the amazing quality of the release, because especially contrasting it to Super Mario, which was already a phenomenal release for a not-so-great film, because I'd already bought their previous Blu-ray release, and I was like, man, this film kind of sucks, but then I bought the 4K, because of course I would. I could get the original version, limited edition, whatever, and it does come with so many amazing things of the booklets and everything, and it is an exceptional package, even if you just say, it's just one film. Yes, but with all the extra stuff that you get, it's quality stuff. And I could say the same thing about Caligula, and even though I actually rewatched Super Mario, and I actually quite enjoyed it on my second watch, so I was very happy with getting the 4K release. And it is exceptionally good. I don't know where I put it. It's so big, and I can't find it. It's up there. I found it. It's up there. You can't see it. It's just off frame. It's that deluxe. I ain't letting no one touch it. But again, with Caligula, it was like, oh, well, it's the same deal, except that comes with like 5 discs because it comes with 3-4 different cuts of the movie, special features up the wazoo. So that alone is pretty nice for its price. And, again, you get the booklets and all that stuff, so it becomes an extra ho-hum stock of stuff. And I'm like, holy crap, this looks amazing for a film I've never seen, and I don't even know which version I'm going to watch. I'll probably watch whatever the 4K disc is, and then go from there. Because there's so many cuts of the film, I have to watch different versions, and there's one that's completely recut, there's one that's basically 100% porn, all these different versions. It's a whole shindig. Either way, the benefit of someone like Umbrella is that they still do standard releases, which usually come with slipcovers, and when they eventually sell out of their 1500 to 2000 unit thing, you eventually just get a standard non-slipcover release, which is maybe just alternate artwork that has the classification sticker or not. And that's also perfectly fine. I like those editions. Sure, you don't get the booklet, you don't get the posters, but it really depends on if you love the film, what you have going into it, all this kind of stuff. And it's reasonable. If you just want to get the film, here's 40 Australian dollars for a standard version, or maybe $30 for a standard version. Arguably perfectly fine. They've still got a bunch of special features and stuff. I'm usually happy to get the limited editions because they add like 20 extra bucks and you get booklets and stuff. So there's more bang for your buck. But at least they offer a standard edition, which is really, really nice. And now I want to, because obviously, Caligula, crazy, and even their standard 4K release that is, I believe, at JB for like $60 to $70, which is already a big woof. But again, I think it's like, $60 for one film on 4K, but it's still the 5-disc edition. It's still a lot, but it's also like, but for 5 discs, that's kind of not too bad. But again, it's just the one film. There's so many mentalities that so many hurdles you gotta jump, it's crazy. So of course, okay, Umbrella are doing a wonderful job with their limited edition releases, even like their more standard ones like Tank Girl, and even, I feel like I ordered some other releases because they had them on sale. Which ones were those? House of the Devil, Eyes Without a Face. Both of them, $75 for the first one, $80 for the other. Mostly because House of the Devil is just a Blu-ray, whereas Eyes Without a Face is $80 was $80 for the 4K. I got $23 off because it was $15 cheaper. So, and the same goes for, again, Caligula. I saved $22.50, so I got it for $127.50. Holy shit. And again, that is also a 4K, 3 Blu-ray discs, a book, magazine, slipcase, rigid case, 2 posters, and art cards. It's a lot of stuff. And I don't mind getting these, limited edition versions of these other releases with Eyes Without a Face and House of the Devil, whether the films are good or not. I've actually got the Criterion for Eyes Without a Face. Do I need the 4K? Well, to be fair, it's been 11 years since that release from Criterion, and this comes with a whole bunch of extra stuff, as well as essays and audio commentaries by people I'm friends with. So that was like another big tick. Oh, this has work by people I actually admire them. I love their work. I'm friends with them. I'll just chat to them casually because you can just do that because they're human beings. So it gives me more urgency to buy it. So hence why I got them, because Nadine had done essays on it. I think Alexandra Helen Nicholas has done some commentaries, and I'm like, this is great. I love it. Why the fuck not? So it's gonna be fun. But again, they still have their standard releases, whatever. But then you get to something like Imprint. And Imprint recently had their juggernaut release for the Neverending Story 4K. And a lot of people have been talking about it because, it's a hell of a release with the replica book, with the, 3 4K discs? 2 4K discs, one for the, actually I think it is a 5-disc set, isn't it? 4K Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray, and a special features disc Blu-ray that comes with a documentary. But the 4Ks and Blu-rays are like US theatrical cut with all the original music on 4K Dolby Vision, whatever. And the second, well, the third and fourth disc is the German version, extended cuts. In English still, like, just because it's from Germany doesn't mean it's in German. But again, you know, it's still a lot. That's really pretty, isn't it? But it's still 250 Australian dollars for the set, which is a lot. And one would argue, maybe a bit too much. And it was interesting diving through, like, Reddit and Twitter, well, not Twitter, no, like Facebook and Instagram, and looking at different posts and different comment chains and threads, and even some videos. Like, I watched Ken's video talking about it, where he unfortunately mistakenly said that the German version was in German. Said it was in English right below, but that's a whole different story. But it was definitely that kind of thing of people were bringing up how, as much as they love the film, and I've never seen it, so I don't have a stakehold, unfortunately, and as much as I want to watch it, it's like I either have to buy the DVD, or I have to hope that, what is it, that I can rent it, and renting on YouTube sucks, so I'm probably not going to do that. I don't know, why should I bother? I'm probably better off just getting a DVD for, like, you know, $5 to $6 on eBay, and then being like, man, I think this is worth spending $250 on this one movie. It's a lot. Like, it's too much, I think. I can understand why the price is there, because at the same time, you have to have a justification. If you're going to have a high price, justify it. And obviously their justification is limited edition, big-ass book. It's a huge replica. It's a big thing for the fans. And you don't know how many units it is. They haven't stipulated it's a one-time print. Once it's there, once it's gone, it's done. And, of course, hits the FOMO, stabs you in the eyeballs with how beautiful it looks. And I'm like, look, I respect it, but the price is too much for me, and I don't want to dive down that avenue, so I'm not. I know people who are, like my mate Philip, who's doing who's in the Canada, he's done the pre-order, and I'm like, I can't see myself doing it. If I was in love with the film, I'd have much more merit. I'd be like, fuck yes, I'm gonna get this, and then I'd find out in like 2 months that Arrow Video is doing a 4K release or something. Like, someone else is probably going to do a 4K release. Like, same with how, what was it, Imprint had, like, their release for Blair Witch, and then Second Sight a month later has their release for Blair Witch. I've ordered both, mostly because the Imprint one I got as a bundle deal, which made it a lot cheaper to get all of those things for the October release, but it also comes with the second film. It's 2 films, great artwork, I'm pretty happy with it. But I'm also getting the Second Sight version because it's one film, really good, like, set, and amazing amount of packaging and stuff, and I'm like, look, I love both brands. I might as well dive both in. Fuck it, who cares? I'm doing it. So again, you have the contrast of Imprint's gigantic replica book, which would probably be very expensive on its own merit. It's probably a $150 book of its own merit, because again, the Neverending Story set would probably be about $120 to $150 naturally for its quantity and quality and price. Because again, you look at their other releases that have come out for the 4Ks that have all been 110 to 120 Australian dollars, like for Priscilla and for A Bridge Too Far and whatever. And most of those are the standard kind of things you'd see from Imprint, the lenticular cases, or the slip cover with 2 different cases inside. But 4Ks, restorations, documentaries, all this kind of stuff. Like, they've gone hard on the special features. But that's the thing with, like, you look at, or at least I'm looking at, you know, Neverending Story, and it's a really amazing looking package, but it's just the glossiness of it. It's just the big replica books. I mean, that I have no relation to, because I don't know what the hell it is. I did see the trailer. I know it's the book, but it features the goddamn Neverending Story. Like, I'm not stupid, but, like, I saw the trailer. I'm like, okay, I get it. I understand what it's from. But again, I have no nostalgia. I have no reception to this, because I'm looking at the brick wall. I don't recognize this at all, because I've never seen the film. And that's the kind of thing where it's like, if it had more to it, you know, if it had like a proper, like, really in-depth collector's book that was like 100 pages of essays talking about the film, maybe a whole bunch of production stuff, because it's really surprisingly basic, realistically. Like, as much as people can criticize, Well, they do have like some documentations and stuff, but I don't think it's too detailed. And you get a poster and a bunch of art cards, and poster and art cards to me doesn't hold very much value. It is a nice poster, but their standard release inside it with the slip cover and the case looks really goddamn nice, and I really want that. Most people really want that. They don't want anything else. They just want the stuff that's in the middle. I don't care for the art cards or the poster or the booklet. If you just give me $110 or $120 for just the stuff in the middle, I'm buying that shit. But unfortunately, they're not doing that, which is really disappointing. I even emailed them, and they said they've got no plans to do a solo release in the future. I mean, that could just be just to, hold people back from not buying, the expensive-ass rare edition. But I'm also like, it's just not going to happen. Like, it's not a film I'm passionate for. I spend a lot of money on films if I love the films a lot. Like, you'd say, like, but you just spent $150 on fucking Super Mario Bros. But at least that came with, like, 3 booklets, including a script book, including a production book, which is so immensely detailed, and a film cell, and again, yeah, sure, art cards and poster, but it's also just got a lot of stuff in it. It's got a comic book, it's got a magazine, it's got so much production stuff, like all these extra produced little assets, that it is a spectacular set, bar the film. Like if you just don't look at the film, everything else that comes with it is so goddamn amazing that it's like, yeah, and also most hardcover books are pretty expensive. Like, I got a friend who buys books daily, and she buys really rare and like limited edition releases of books, and they're super expensive, and I don't know why she does. Most of them come broken, but at the same time, it's like there's a lot of quality put into that kind of stuff because it's a physical production. I've even got like a turbine release for The Thing, which cost me $100 odd, and that came with like a patch and a poster and a booklet that's all in German, and the original story that's all in German. Like, but it comes with like every single version of the film, all the special features that were released by that stage, everything prior to the 4K UHD, so it still had like the Scream Factory version, the Arrow Video version. It had it all combined in the one package. It was amazing. And yet I've still gotten more releases of that film ever since. So, I'm not going to be the person who's going to spend so much money on Neverending Story, but I will spend a lot of money on a film that I do actually love and have appreciation for, even if it's multiple sets or versions for the same goddamn movie. Now, as a summary, why the fuck is everything so goddamn expensive now? And how, as collectors, are we meant to survive in this market? Because it's getting so oversaturated with all these different releases, all these different boutiques, and it's like, yeah, people have been pinning this is the golden age of physical media. And it is. The amount of boutique releases we're getting, so many different brands in so many different countries that are getting so many amazing releases, whether they're even just basic standard Blu-rays that have a fuck ton of special features, whether new or archival, or you get all these brand new 4K UHDs with like Dolby Vision, restorations from the original, camera negative, all this stuff that is making these films look and feel like they've never felt before. Hell, I got one called the Primevals the other day from Umbrella, which I even watched and I'm like, man, this film's fine. Like, I didn't love it, but I'm also like, I spent what became $32 because I got an $8 refund. Hooray for sales. But, I'm still spending $32 on a film I've never heard of that looks interesting because I love stop motion films like with live action. I love monster movies. I love adventure films. But, watching the film itself didn't really impress me. But it's like, but it's there. It's a film that's had like 30 years, 50 years of like troubled production. There's so much history that's gone into it that, it's finally getting a physical release. It's finally getting something that makes it exist in the flesh. And it's amazing. And it's got a fuck ton of special features. And it's a beautiful release. Even the standard version that I got looks great. So, there is a lot of stuff going into these releases. And I can't deny that. But it's getting so difficult money-wise that even someone like me who I don't have too much money to have to worry about. Like, I still have a day-to-day job. I have a weekend job. I'm getting money from YouTube occasionally. Like, it's not always the biggest concern for me personally. Like, I'm not immensely struggling. If I was, you wouldn't see me getting goddamn Blu-rays every goddamn week. Once you see me not getting like mail videos, that's when you know that I'm either struggling or I'm actually like saving to something really important, which I would say is a house. But that's, this economy kind of sucks. So it's one of those things where, as much as I could see all these releases and be like, I can buy these because I can afford them, whatever the fuck, I'm not flaunting like I've got millions of dollars or whatever, but it's like, I'm also putting myself in a realistic point of view where, as much as I can, I have to be really selective. And most of us have to be really selective. Like, one week I might be like, I'm going to get this. And then, like, 3 days later, here's a sale on this website. Oh, this sale, this website now has these available. Like, I have that when it comes to, like, Outrun DVD will announce that they've got these films in. I'll be like, fuck, I want to get those films. And then, like, this international website will have a sale. Oh, shit, I want to get those films. Like, I'm not looking for this stuff. It just hits me like a bus. It just happens to come by, and I hate that sometimes. Like, this whole week that I'm filming this video, which has really made it so that I'm probably not going to get this Imprint bundle. Individual things, yeah, probably with, like, Priscilla and Bridge Too Far, but definitely not with Neverending Story. Umbrella had a 15% off sale. I bought stuff from the Cinemaniacs because they got new stuff in that had commentaries by Lee, and they're closing soon, so it seemed like it was the best time to do it, because then I wouldn't have to, like, buy from Amazon, whatever. I'd rather support someone I actually appreciate over big corporation. This other website had a sale, so I bought some stuff from that. This other website had a sale. There's a t-shirt place that I get stuff like this from, has a new bundle drop for, there's just so much stuff happening, just domino affecting, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger all in 1 week, and I'm like, my god, this is just 1 week and I've spent like basically $1,000 or something. Of course, with like the luck of a pay in 4 and whatever, holy shit, but like, it's just, I mean, I have no self-control realistically, but a lot of the time I have like pre-measured things where I'll look at these and be like, yeah, I want to get that, I want to get that. Like, it's not just the I want to, do I need to? Most of the time, no. I'm trying to make it seem like there needs to be a justification. Julian, you're spending too much money, stop it. But it's like, yeah, but you and I, we're in the same boat. Like, there's that relatability of, as much as we can both be critical of each other for spending too much money on films, even if it's $150 for one fucking movie, like, there's an appreciation that goes into it. This is stuff that we will look at and evaluate for, hopefully, a couple of weeks, like something like Caligula, I've been waiting months to order it, and I was like really, really hoping it wouldn't sell out, and it hasn't yet, but then they've had this 15% off sale. I'm like, this is the time to get it, because it won't get this cheap again, if ever. Like, this stuff, because it's a web store exclusive, it ain't coming to JB. I'm not going to get it for sale at JB. Like, something like the Primevals, I was lucky. Their limited edition and even standard edition sold out from the Umbrella store, but I found it at JB, $40, okay, sure, whatever, I'll buy it. 1 week later, there's a 20% off sale, and you can get a bloody 20% off refund. That's $8 back, $32 for one film. Still a lot, but hey, I spent, what, $30 on, which I ended up getting a partial refund for, so $23 on Challenges, and that's a film I love, which had no 4K and no special features. So contrast that to, regular retail price, $30 for that, $40 for Primevals, and Primevals is a film that has a slip cover, it comes with unique artwork, it comes with a fuck ton of special features. That's a more prized release in terms of what it comes with. And that's, again, where I'll compare, like a Neverending Story, a film that's mostly just a set that's mostly just a really big replica book, and then a 4K set, compared to Caligula, which is a huge, release in terms of the amount of 4K discs and everything, not the amount of 4K discs, but the amount of versions of the film, but also the booklets and all the extra stuff. Like, it has a fancier look to it. It has a more juicier look to it, It was also a lot cheaper for one film. So much cheaper than Neverending Story. So yeah, this was meant to be about how so many of these boutique Blu-rays are getting so expensive, but they are. Even just standard ones, they're so expensive. Look, it's a constant thing where every week I'm hoping to not buy Blu-rays, and then I still do. Every week I tell myself, nah, no Blu-rays this week. We're not going to buy anything. Let's save some money. And maybe for a week or so I do. I save money. Maybe I go to JB once and buy something. Maybe I don't buy anything at all. And then lo and behold, here's a whole bunch of, like, JB the same weekend as as Umbrella's sale, as Imprint's new releases, as the t-shirt brand with their new drop. All these things happening at once. JB also has a goddamn 20% off sale, and the only thing I've thought about with that is get money back rather than put money more towards them. And yet I've still found movies that I want to buy from them that are cheaper than other retail sites. Like, they've got JSA from Umbrella, and Umbrella's is like still $5 more, because even though they've got a 15% off sale, it's still more expensive than the 20% off sale from JB. So it's too much. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I swear to God, at the start of this year, I was like, I'm not going to spend that much money this year. I'm going to save. I'm going to pay off the car. I'm going to save up for something important. Like, I'm moving rooms now. I have to buy a whole new desk. It's not going to be a big fancy desk, but, like, you know, just something that's nice that I can just put my laptop on and have, like, a plate full of food next to me if I really want to. So, like, you know, there are other things that I need to spend my money on, that I'm focusing so much on Blu-rays with the here and now, that I'm not thinking about the future. And honestly, I don't know, in the kind of lifestyle I'm living right now, I don't really know if I want to. Like, I'm not living like week to week by pay slips or whatever, luckily, but I mean, I'm also not money bags rich, so I don't know. Man, isn't Hip Pocket fun? Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think these boutique releases are getting too bloody expensive? Even standard releases, I haven't even touched on those, but they're getting way too expensive as well. Let me know your thoughts down below. Are you, I don't know, struggling? Don't think I'm not. Like, it still does a toll on my, like, just my mental health of being like, oh my God, what are you doing? You don't even know how much money you owe because of all these paying fors. And it's a lot. It's just like, if I spend it all now, I've, like, cut out $3,000, $4,000 probably from my bank account. I'm like, I don't think I want to do that right now. I should, but then I'll still be like, I've still got this amount. And then I'll have someone ask me, oh, you know, I've always got my parents looking down on me, trying to see how much money I've got because I keep spending, you know. It's only because my stuff is visible. You can see the stuff that I'm buying. My brothers, you can't. I mean, you can for my older brother because he bought a house. But it's small, but, you know, sustainable for now. But, like, you can't see what my younger brother's buying because he's buying trips overseas. He's buying insurance. He's buying all this stuff that's just online that you don't know that he's spending thousands of dollars each week for stuff that is going to happen in the future, because they value, or at least he values, you know, going overseas more than buying like CDs and stuff, which is fine. That's his happy place. His happy place is getting the hell out of here. Mine is getting the hell out of here, but through a TV screen. So, yeah. It's one of those joys of having siblings, and like that being the contrast now. Julian, you're spending too much money. Yeah, but he's just spent $3,000 on a trip to fucking, I don't know, Hawaii or something. No, that's too expensive. That's too cheap for Hawaii. I don't know, Bali. And I'm like, no one's criticizing him, but he's going outside. Fuck you. Anyway, bye, I guess.